It really showed that Kyline will do what Kyline wants to do to get what Kyline wants. You're grabbing his phone and you physically assaulted him, and in a manner that was provoking. Why would you put Kobe in that position? Why do you need to be violent? I was warned, but instead I defended you, Kyline. And their father won't speak on this matter because that's how they've been since the very beginning. So as their mother, I'm doing this because it's my right and my job. I want to start this off by saying that we wanted to keep quiet. But it's evident that in keeping details quiet, it is instead allowing for more accusations, more bashing, more assumptions, and even more concerning is the stalking. My life is quiet. I live away from all of this and I hardly post anymore. So take that into consideration before any of you claim that I'm doing this for any other reason than to stand up for my son. Even Andre is getting bashed for standing up for his brother. He is the kindest human you will ever meet and does not deserve any of this. So much of this mess could have been avoided if people on Kyline's team didn't ask Benji to tell the public that they were still okay. Why couldn't they admit it? Because of contracts. Now a timeline. When did this begin to unravel? With everything that I've gathered from multiple people, I think sometime after the US trip in January. Some things were said and done that were, let's say, a red flag. For the next few months, Kobe had a few more encounters with Kyline's parent that really put him off. And like any other relationship, he wanted to try to get past it. Fast forward to the day Kobe moved out, the things said and done to him were unforgivable. So he finally left. Andre came to help Kobe move his things out. Then he stayed to talk to Kyline's parents, to apologize for how things ended, and thank them for everything. Because that's who Andre is. He's kind and he is respectful. The next days that followed, a handful of us took calls from Kyline to console her for hours. We are Kobe's family, but out of respect, we still try to be there for her, to help console her, to listen, and to be understanding. We all found the stories she shared about the past month odd because it was unlike Kobe to be so dismissive. Now we know why. Kobe gives his all. He's generous. He's kind. He sticks to one. But when he's made to feel a certain way, he's done. And I think that goes for most men. Right now, I'm confused as to why Kyline and the people on her side are allowing Kobe to look like he's a cheater and she just wants to keep quiet to protect her own peace. Somehow, she's getting praised for having the courage to leave my son, who according to her parents are masama. When in fact, up until the day before Easter, she was begging all of us to convince Kobe to go back home and to apologize to her so they can still fix things. She and I had multiple long talks. I thought we had an agreement. She said, so I told her that she shouldn't do anything irrational, like deleting photos, unfollowing, things like that, so things don't get worse. And that I would wait for Kobe's call and I would see if I could check if things are still salvageable. But then Kyline went on to not only do some of those things, she also thought it would be a smart idea to post a video of her singing some sentimental song, only adding fuel to the flames. We kept quiet. I'm guessing her parents found it the perfect opportunity to also post something for their own gain, posts with innuendos, causing people to not only stalk Kobe while abroad, but now my family and I are getting abused online. Still, we kept quiet. Then, Kyline called me again. This time, she sent me an edited screen grab na galing daw sa reliable source. Simultaneously, I was receiving similar screenshots from other people, but it included the username. When I asked her, she had to admit to me that it was indeed her friend, Hannah. This was the girl who posted one of the initial videos that caused all of this to completely be blown out of proportion. Now, you have people reposting, stalking, and having their own assumptions on things. So Andre tried to step in to defend his brother because after all, he knew the truth. He knew that Kobe was single. In that phone call with Kyline, I seemed to still be on the same page with her. We wait for Kobe to call, and I would still try to help. And publicly, I was still quiet. At this point, Kyline's demeanor towards Andre and Honey began to change. She became condescending, bastos, and makes a promise to do what she needs to save her career. Then she posts a cryptic message, and again, her parents post one too. This is when I told myself, I need to believe what I was seeing. I need to stop denying. She obviously doesn't care about how any of this is affecting those of us who are trying to help her. It really showed that Kyline will do what Kyline wants to do to get what Kyline wants. So I posted a quote of my own. Suddenly, I get a message from someone from Sparkle Talent, basically trying to make me feel bad for my post and excusing what she and her parents are doing. Ceasefire daw. Ceasefire. I didn't know we were at war. Why would Kyline's team allow for all the insinuations and suggestive posts from their side at this crucial time? And knowing that Kobe's not the type to respond. But suddenly, I post, and then it's a problem. They said it's also surprising because Kyline thought that we were okay naman daw. And then Kobe is nothing without Kyline. I'm sorry. But I believe around the time she was born, my son was already in or on magazine covers. He was also already making his own money. He was doing ads and commercials. Kapal daw ng mukha, gamit pa ang sasakyan niya. First of all, pinahiram mo yung car because his car was getting repaired. He didn't use it to cheat because he didn't cheat. And to be honest with you, Kobe doesn't mind taking Grab or Uber because that's the kind of person he is. Hindi siya maarte. Kyline also told Andre na ang sarap singilin ng rent. So why didn't you just let him leave? Why didn't you ask him to leave? You let him borrow your car and stay at your place while he was waiting on the condo that he wanted to buy, only for you and your family to belittle him. He was there because you asked, and he stayed because he wanted to try. Trying to make it all work. This was the layer of toxicity that Kobe was trying to tell me about. Knowing what I know now, most of which was shared by Kyline, I'm pretty sure Kobe felt trapped. Kyline should have completely understood the day that he decided to leave her that he had had enough. Kyline, he gave you his password to his cell phone. You had it. You always checked his phone. He allowed you to. This last time, he was already distant. You were grabbing his phone and you physically assaulted him. And in a manner that was provoking. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you put Kobe in that position? Why do you need to be violent? I don't think I've ever spanked him as a mother, so to me, it's just very distressing. I'm proud of Kobe for not responding to you or your dad, but instead, he hurriedly packed up and left. But now you're allowing Kobe to be painted as the villain, all because he didn't want to be with you anymore. Let me discuss how her parents are supposedly hurt by this betrayal. Because the father supposedly treated Kobe like his son. How am I supposed to feel about those words? You treated Kobe like your son. If according to a handful of people, you aren't exactly a good husband to your wife behind closed doors. When I heard that most recently, I started to understand the pattern now. What she did to Kobe, it's learned behavior. Between our two families, we're not the same. Benji and I may be separated, but including my husband, we protect and provide for our families. We have dedicated our lives to doing what we need to as parents so our children can depend on us in every aspect. I've dedicated the last 20 years of my life to bettering myself for my children's sake. So to Kyline, her family, the toxic fans, please don't insult the efforts we have made to build our family by playing victim. If you're a victim, you're the victim of your own doing. Your actions have consequences. For someone who is supposed to be a mental health advocate, it bothers me to know that you have been playing with Kobe's mental health throughout your relationship. I will leave the many incriminating stories of why Kobe found it incredibly difficult to trust you between the both of you, unless you make it necessary for me to do it in the future. And I'm praying that doesn't happen. So yes, we too, Kyline, we keep proof. Sana nga, hindi na kailangan i-share. So you can all judge and hate my son for moving on so seemingly fast, but I think that's better than loving someone for pretending to be somebody that they're not. When Kobe finally called to fill in the gaps, I had a flashback, and it just made me so disappointed in myself, because back last year around July, I was warned. But instead I defended you, Kyline. I thought, if there was a woman, a mother that could understand and be most accepting, it would be me. I regret not listening to those warnings. Now I hope everyone who has the heart to truly comprehend the gravity of the deception of your ways now sees the real you.